Good Monday morning, everyone. Happy 2023, people. It is a start to a new week. We have some things to discuss, a lot of things discussing Bryan Kohberger, notoriously known as, let me plug in my microphone. In this podcast, we're just mainly going to be going over different stuff that you probably already heard about Mr. Kohberger. Bryan Christopher Kohberger. I'm also going to be sharing content from a previous TikTok video that was uploaded. And I have watched this, and I have to tell you, it does send chills up my spine. Just saying. We're also going to be discussing how Bryan Christopher Kohberger, his father, in this holiday trip that was supposedly planned in advance. I would just like to give a disclaimer, people, that I'm not here to point fingers at anybody or point blame towards a family. Because at the end of the day, they probably didn't know that Bryan Christopher Kohberger, their own son, was capable of such a heinous crime. However, you have to admit that it is awfully suspicious. Bad timing around this trip was made. If it was, again, planned, which I don't think it is. I think it was planned, but guys, it just doesn't look good on the father's behalf that now we know this information. So we're going to be talking more about that. We're going to be talking more about the TikTok. And Bryan Christopher Kohberger just in general. So once again, thank you, people, for joining this Monday morning on Bandits Podcast. You're going to be hearing me do other things in the background. I have to clean. And then I have to do some laundry, but I will be conversing and providing my commentary in the background. Let's first go over there's been so much information coming out about this dude. And the deeper you look into him, the scarier it gets. Honestly. The deeper you look into him, the scarier it gets. So he has chosen to waive his expedition to Idaho. I do not know why. Suspect, an Idaho college student, killing plans to waive extradition hearing, attorney says. This is posted today. This came out yesterday. He is choosing to waive the extradition. The suspect in the killings of the 4 University of Idaho students plans to waive his extradition hearing this week. His attorney said to expedite his return to the gem state, where he faces 4 counts of first-degree unaliving. Bryan Christopher Kohberger is shocked a little bit. Is he really? I'm sure he is. Media has been reporting that he's been sitting in the jail cell, just staring off in space, just staring at the wall. Yeah, I'm sure you are shocked, Bryan. You thought that you could really get away with this. He really thought that he could outsmart his own self. He is a victim to his own mind. Just saying. Because usually when a person is overly confident to do such a thing and commit such a heinous crime against 4 individuals, not just one people, but 4. And now we see his background. Yeah, it sounds like that he got too cocky. He thought that he was good enough. It's like, oh, all of the rest of these criminals, they're going to get caught, but I'm going to go down in history. I'm going to be notorious. For the day that comes when if I do get caught. He was probably anticipating that it was going to be a long time. He was hoping that this case would remain cold and years would go by without any answers. But as usually what we see most criminals do, they're not as smart. And I wish more people would stop giving these criminals credit, because they're actually pretty stupid. There's been forensic evidence of this guy at the crime scene. So they have forensic evidence against him. How did they get that? I would like to. That's interesting. That's a good question. Considering that he was found in Pennsylvania, and this happened in Idaho, all the way across the other side of the country. He was being tracked. That's what it was. So his family has recently came out and provided a statement, released a statement on behalf of the Kohberger's family Sunday, saying, "There are no words that we can adequately express the sadness we feel." This is the first time the family had issued a public statement since Kohberger's arrest Friday. "First and foremost, we care deeply for the 4 families who had lost their precious children. There are no words that can adequately express the sadness we feel, and we pray for them each day." The family's statement reads, "We will continue to express and let the legal process unfold. As the family, we will love and support our son and brother. We have fully cooperated with law enforcement agencies in an attempt to seek truth and promote his preassumption of innocence rather than judge unknown facts and make assumptions." End quote. Labar did not. Now, this person right here, his public defender, not the guy. This is not the guy that's going to be defending him in the trial in Idaho. This is just the guy he was issued a public defender in Pennsylvania. He's the one that's came out and said that Bryan's going to choose to waive his extradition. In a statement, Labar stressed his client is presumed innocent until proven guilty, saying, "Mr. Kohberger is eager to Wow. Okay. Yeah. So he's saying here that he's going to be very confident. He thinks he's actually going to get away with it, y'all. Unless, of course, this entire time, and I've always suspected that this crime, it had to take more than one person to do so. But then again, I don't know everything. And I don't claim to know everything, people. I just like to ask questions, and I'm theorizing. That doesn't mean that I'm a know-it-all. But think about it. 4 people, one would get pretty tired. That's exhausting. Very exhausting.